I started playing Left 4 Dead at the age of 6 years old. I saw my father playing it late at night every day for a couple months, grinding to complete all the campaigns on expert mode with his clan, and the one world map that they could ever beat was the first round or chapter in Death Toll. As I watched my father play the game, I thought to myself, this is awesome, and it was truly unlike any of the games I had ever seen before then. When we first were introduced to the survivors, Bill, Zoe, Francis, and Lewis, we truly saw the depth of destruction these infected could bring to the table. We watch as they merely try to cross the street, but are almost overcome with the sheer horror and despair as they fight through the infected with Bill's guidance. Little did they know, this was only the beginning of the infection. Bill as a character means absolutely so much to me. He is actually one of my favorite characters in all of media, be it games, movies, shows. The thing I've always been absolutely fascinated by is the man's endurance and drive. His motives are just to keep his makeshift, infected surviving team alive. Zoe, Francis, and Lewis. In the comic of Left 4 Dead for the Sacrifice, we see Bill's climax, the beginning and ending to his character. My personal favorite scene to demonstrate how big of a badass this man is when he was being sedated for surgery. As he was counting down like he was told to, he witnessed one of the nurses turning to an infected. Yeah, that's right. Bill was being put to sleep, and he was witnessing the medical staff being infected. He quickly sprung into action, fighting them off, telling himself not to black out, and quickly retrieving a weapon. He found 2 blades, walked to his apartment, put on his old military clothes, and prepared to kick some ass. Bill has a fire within him unlike anyone else I've seen in any video games. Not only is he a leader, a qualified badass, a trained killer, and an old man, but he's also Zoe's father figure since her father died during the infection. Not to say that her father wasn't a good father, but Bill is definitely like father number 2 in a lot of cases. And what we've seen reminds Zoe of her father. Bill would do anything to keep Zoe and his family alive. Yes, even Francis. To say Jim French's voice acting was just an important detail in the making of Bill is a complete understatement. Voice actors make these roles come to life, and I feel Jim French's voice acting was an undeniable success. Overall, the game wouldn't be the same without Jim French. Jim French executes Bill as a character so well, sometimes it's hard to differentiate from Jim French when he's acting from being himself and not the character. This is not an insult to him saying he's only a one-trick voice actor or anything like that, so please do not say that. It is a complete compliment in the fact that when voice actors are so well at performing their acting in a specific character, when they get so involved into the character, when they also invest emotional investment into that character, just as we readers, gamers, watchers do ourselves, they truly pull off the character as if they were the character. And I believe Jim French effectively did that. Now, honestly, without Jim French, I don't think Bill would have been the same. To pull off a character in voice is a lot harder to do in actual voice than just write it on paper. Rest in peace, Jim French, and I will never forget you or your contributions to my personal favorite media of all time. And honestly, one of the big reasons why I'm making this video is just to make a better in remembrance of this man and my most popular video on the channel so far. I just felt it wasn't a good enough representation of what I wanted a tribute to Jim French to be. Left 4 Dead as a whole has affected me and so many other people. It has created so many memories and experiences that I and everyone else will never forget. I made friends, met other creators, and founded my channel basically from it too. I mean, sure, I didn't create it and just start making them instantly, those Left 4 Dead videos, but I truly found, even if it was a really small audience, I founded my audience truly on Left 4 Dead. And just like I said, I'm not the only one. So I invited some people to share details or stories of what and how Left 4 Dead has affected them, and a short segment of lines for each person, because if I got everyone's full opinions, it would probably become a huge storybook now, wouldn't it? What does Left 4 Dead mean to you? How did Left 4 Dead impact you? And are there any memories that you can think of particularly? Or what do you enjoy doing the most on Left 4 Dead?
What Left 4 Dead means to me, whenever I think Left 4 Dead, I feel like it's real epic gamer time, you know? Me and the boys gonna hop on Left 4 Dead. We're gonna nay randoms, yeah? That's what I usually think of when I hear the name Left 4 Dead 2, or just Left 4 Dead as we call it. How it impacted me, I would say it was definitely for the better. You see, some may say I'm a no-life retard who does nothing but plays Left 4 Dead. But you see, that's just not true. If it wasn't for Left 4 Dead, you could say I wouldn't be here with you today. And you might be thinking, oh, it's just because he wouldn't have met the boys, you know? No. I'd be dead. I mean, I don't know if I really would have died, but, like, what I'm saying is, you know, one of those days when I got on Left 4 Dead, if I hadn't have played Left 4 Dead, I may have gone out into the street, like, you know, go outside and be productive, and I'd have been ran over. Hence, me dying for not playing Left 4 Dead. So, to sum it up, I'd be dead if it wasn't for Left 4 Dead. You could say I'd been left for dead. Oh, okay, I immediately regret that. While I can't remember an exact moment that I would consider significant, just like goofing around with the boys on Left 4 Dead, I do like going and playing against randoms, but for me, the best times are when we do a private lobby, and it's just the boys playing with the boys, you know?
Honestly, it meant a lot to me. Meeting new people that shared the same interests, very heartwarming. And although the game has aged, they hold dear memories. They're not mine. Getting to meet new people was also a big impact. I didn't get to play the game all that much, only about 4 to 5 times, but it's nice to see and talk to people that did. Even, you know, don't give you the hentai card, if they don't, you know, give you hentai since you're a minor. But that's fine.
This was pretty special, because it was the first day I played Left 4 Dead 2. I was at a fucking electronics store. I was at the video games. I was like, ooh, a game. Let me play. And I was like, ooh, this is pretty fun. Mom, buy me this game. She said no. I was like, ah, that sucks. And then once I got the game, I was fucking happy. And I just played Death Center mostly the entire time.
2009. Wait, hold on. Is it 2009? Is that when Left 4 Dead 2 came out, or is that when Left 4 Dead 1 came out?
Yes. Left 4 Dead 2.
Okay, so it's 2008. And my sister had just got, you know, the brand new Xbox 360, and she's in high school and she's playing it with her friends, right? And so I remember watching it and I was like, wow, that shit's pretty epic, right? And then next year, same day, November 17th, Left 4 Dead 2 comes out. And they get that one, and I started playing campaign with my sister. And then every day after school, I come home and we play a campaign together, split screen. It was really fucking bad, and I didn't enjoy it. Or I did enjoy it, but I didn't realize how unenjoyable that was. And so here we go. Right? This is where it starts getting epic. I was like, damn, Left 4 Dead's really fun. I'm gonna watch all these, animations with Left 4 Dead stuff on it. And so a couple years later, I discovered this epic YouTuber, Wow Such Guy, and he had like 16,000 subscribers at the time or something, right? I was watching a stream, and this one decided to ask me to play with him, right? Because we played together before, and he was like, "Hey, you're pretty good. We should play together with my friends." And I was like, "Okay." And so that's when I met you, and that was 2 years ago, and we still play together, and that's pretty epic.
What Left 4 Dead means to me, well, it's like really cool because like that was the first. It's like the first game I met. All my friends with that I like play with down today. So like, if without that game, I probably wouldn't even have an Xbox One, to be honest. I met these really cool guys. I remember when Pizza, I insta-killed him, and he reached.
Well, I mean, back when I was in high school, right before Left 4 Dead came out, I was starting to get out of gaming. All I did was play Pokemon and other stuff at home. Yeah, I wasn't gaming too much, and then Left 4 Dead was announced, but I didn't have a 360 and never played online games at all. And I was just hanging out with my friends. Well, my buddy NanoGerm, he had a 360, and he bought Left 4 Dead 1, so I was like, hey, can I come over and play it? He said, yeah, sure, dude, we'll do that. So I went over there, and I played it, and I was in love with it, and I think I got there at like 5 p.m. and played until like 3 a.m. at his house, and he went to bed. He's like, I'm going to bed. It's like, okay, dude, see you. And I was just obsessed with the game, so I went out, traded all my Pokemon games in, got a 360 with the original 360 with that weird adapter, got an Ethernet cable, played at my aunt's house, and played it nonstop. Left 4 Dead 2 is announced, and I was excited, and played that religiously my senior year of high school, college. That's how I met Cake, Incredible, Meredith, all my Xbox friends over the years. That's because I met them like early 2010, 2011. Played it religiously through college, and that's just how I made all my friends. And then I made the YouTube channel back in 2016, just covering Left 4 Dead content, because I noticed not many people did it anymore since it was such an old game. And so I decided to start doing that, and for about a year I was only getting a couple thousand views, so I was like, okay, that's kind of cool, whatever, it's just a hobby. Started doing more Left 4 Dead stuff, and people started getting into it, and that's how I got my channel off the ground, was because of Left 4 Dead. So, I mean, it got me the friends that my long-term friends that I've had for a while. It got me into YouTube, got me where I was. So if it wasn't for Left 4 Dead, I don't know where I'd be in life. And yeah, Left 4 Dead is probably the most impactful game that I can ever say that would affect me. As for the memories, there's many times where we just do lobbies and troll people. I was real toxic on Left 4 Dead in the first couple of years I was playing it. If someone was really good or camping or something, I'd message them and all that, but I got over that over the years. But some of my favorite memories are just playing with friends or just doing the versus with friends and fans and getting footage from that, and just making the best ofs, because that's one of my favorite things to do, is just watch the old footage and going through that with friends. That's about it.
So Left 4 Dead means friendship, and it means fun times. And playing Left 4 Dead impacted me, because if it wasn't for me being introduced into this game in 2014 and then picking it up again last year, then I would have never met any of you guys. Like, I would never have made new friends and the friends I have today.
Left 4 Dead, it means a lot to me, It's my childhood. I grew up with it. That's how I met a lot of my friends. It's in a state now where it's so old to it's so repetitive at this point. I would only play if we have a group of people playing it. I remember rocket jumping on top of a Burger King.
Left 4 Dead to me is a game that you play with friends. The game promotes teamwork. And if you don't work together, you're surely gonna die, along with your friends, if you don't work together. If you try to play solo, sooner or later you're gonna die. And I grew up playing this game with friends. I remember one time I went over to my friend's house and he invited me to play on his Xbox. I thought it'd be like Halo 3 or something, but he showed me this game, Left 4 Dead. And I was, I was curious. And I was like, alright, this looks like fun, let's play. I remember starting it up. There was no mercy. And I remember picking Bill, because he looked like a grizzled old man who knew what he was doing. And we were on that rooftop. And after that, my friends and I had a blast. It was beautiful. Honestly. But in all seriousness, this is a game with teamwork. If your team doesn't work together, you will get destroyed. Which is why I like this game so much. It's one of those games that you grow up playing with friends, and it's that one game that 30 years later you'll sit down and say, remember the one time we played Left 4 Dead 2? And it'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that. Great game. If you love being a team player.
Left 4 Dead has impacted me significantly. Without Left 4 Dead, I wouldn't have any of the friends you see on my channel today. I wouldn't really have much of a social life, to be honest, and I wouldn't be as motivational as I am towards my content making if it were for not having Left 4 Dead in my life. Even though I don't play it as much or with the same amount of people that I used to do or the same amount of content I used to do about it, it'll always hold a place in my heart like many other creators. If you'd like to support me and my channel, consider checking out the many links down below.
I waited too long. What does it mean to me? Well, when I think of Left 4 Dead, I always think it's gonna be real epic gamer time, you know? Gonna get on with the boys and nay people. What are you trying to say? What? You got a problem with my answer? I'm answering from the heart and you're just gonna pull that? Alright, I'm out of here. I can't do this anymore.
Now let me pull this up. Alright. Stooky, what does Left 4 Dead mean to you? How did Left 4 Dead impact you? And do you have any memories that you particularly remember?
I love gaming.